Ahlan wa sahlan. Do you know that the word ijtama'a is gotten from the word jama'a? Do you also know that the word imtala'a is gotten from the word mala'a? And I've told you previously that Arabic words basically are formed from 3 letters. So originally all Arabic words come from 3 letters or from 4 letters. An example of this 3 letter word is jama'a and mala'a. But from these 3 letter words, we could have 4 letters, 5 letters, and even 6 letters. These 3 letters are called the al-fi'l thulathi al-mujarrad, the 3 literal verbs. Verbs with 3 letters, these are the basics, because if you choose to remove a single letter from the word jama'a, from the word mala'a, you would alter the meaning and you make it meaningless. But the word ijtama'a, you can see there is an addition of alif and ta to the word jama'a to get ijtama'a. The same thing with imtala'a, we added alif, hamza and ta to what? To mala'a to get imtala'a. And from our previous discussions, we had told you that there are several ways in which an addition could be made to the 3 literal verbs. Like when you add in the last one, link placed above, we discussed how hamza and noon could be added to these words. Let's quickly look at the meaning of these words on the board. Look at the word jama'a. In an example, I can say jama al-mudarrisu tullaba, which means the teacher gathered the students. But using the word ijtama'a, I will simply say ijtama'a tullabu, which means the students gathered. Now, let's look at the word mala'a. I will say mala'tul kuba. I filled the cup, maybe with water. Mala'tul kuba. I filled the cup. But if I say imtala al kuba, it means the cup filled, meaning the cup is filled. Now, if you look at the usage of the word ijtama'a and imtala'a, you will see that they are being used for al-mutawa'a, which is simply obedience. So one of the meanings of the words coming under this pattern of ifta'ala, like ijtama'a, iftaraqa, ihtaraqa, and the rest of them, is that they mean al-mutawa'a, which means obedience. Because when I said mala'tul kuba, I fill the cup, here I am the performer of the action. But when the performer of the action is showing. But when I say imtala al kubu, which means the cup is filled, it is also in obedience to my action, because the cup does not get filled by itself. Somebody would perform the action, so I can say mala'tul kuba famtala'a. I filled the cup and it got filled, which means that it obeyed my action of filling it. The same thing I can say, jama'tu tullaba fajtama'u. I gathered the students and they gathered, because they have the option of not gathering. So I gathered them, and in mutawa'a, in obedience to my action, they responded by gathering. So these words coming under this pattern, the difference or the addition being made to the original form is by simply adding alif, hamza and ta. Another example I can give to you, look at the word ijtahada, from the word jahada. Can you see jahada? Ijtahada. Look at the word iqtaraba, from the word qaruba. Iqtaraba. Iqtarabat as-sa'atu wa inshaqqa al-qamar. Look at the word, we also have the word iqtaraha, to suggest iqtaraha. And there are several other words which come under this pattern by simply adding hamza and ta'un to them. So how do you add this hamza and ta'un to a 3 literal verb? Let's take the verb fa'ala as the basics and the wazn for measuring it on the mizan. The verb fa'ala, if you want to form it into this pattern, you will simply put hamza at the beginning And after the fa, you put ta to get what? Ifta'ala. Can you see? Ifta'ala. To form the present tense of these verbs, all you need to do is to remove the first hamza and exchange it with a harful mudari'ah, which is a particle among the four particles of the present, which are the hamza, nun, ya, and ta. So you can simply say yafta'ilu, or yaftariqu, or yajtami'u. You can say yajtami'u tullabu. The students are gathering. Yamtali ulqubu. The cup is filling up. Can you see? Yajtahidul muslimun. The Muslims are struggling. So this is how to form the present tense. Now to form the command tense, all you need to do is to, since we have ijtahada, just change the second letter to kisra. It becomes ijtahida. Then the last letter change to sukun, become ijtahid. Ijtahid, which means struggle. Go hard. That is, put hard work. So ijtahid, strive. Like you can say iftariq. That is, disperse. Iftariqu, disperse, all of you. You can say what? Imtali, fill up. Can you see? And the rest, you can say iqtarih, suggest, iqtarih. Like I can say, in ladayya iqtirahun, I have a suggestion. So you simply tell me iqtarih, then suggest. So this is how to form the command tense. Now to form the masdar, and we know masdar simply means the verbal noun. And I've given an example before of the word dhahaba, which means he went. The verbal noun will be dhahabun, which means going, the action of going. So that is the verbal noun masdar. To form the verbal noun, the masdar from the following, from this pattern or verb, it will come under the pattern of what? Ifti'alun. Ifti'alun. An example is ijtihadun, which means struggling. Iqtirahun, which means what? Suggestion. Then we have the word iqtirabun, which means close, nearness, from to be near. Then you have the word ijtima, which is what? Meeting, gathering, meeting. So this is the pattern to forming the masdar. Another thing I would want to point to you is that when words which originally have letters like so, dod, to, and tho, any word which in its three-letter form, it has one of these four letters. An example is the word sobaro, with the so beginning it. The other example is the word to, la, the word do, roba, and the word dholama. You can see all of these four words, they all begin with either of these four letters so, do, to, tho in their original three-letter form. To form them into the pattern of ifta'ala, which we are discussing on, the ta'un which is to be added will be changed to ta. Again, the ta'un which is to be added will be changed to ta. An example to clarify, look at the word sobaro. To form it under the pattern of ifta'ala that we have discussed today, it would be istabaro. Is what? Istabaro. Because after they saw you add ta, istabaro. But to avoid difficulty, this ta will be changed to ta. So it becomes istobaro. Istobaro. So act patiently, istobaro. Istobaro. Can you see? Then for the example of the word doroba, originally it will be what? Idutaroba. Idutaroba. But the ta there will be changed to ta also. So it becomes idtoroba. Idtoroba. To be compelled. Idtoroba. Idtoroba. Do you understand? Idtoroba. So idtoroba. Again, idtoroba. Now, look at the word. The next one, which is tala'a. It will have been itala'a. Itala'a. So, but we change the ta to give you itala'a. Itala'a. MashaAllah. Then the last one, which is zolama, it will be is talama. But to avoid difficulty, it will be is talama. Is talama. MashaAllah. And as we move on in this lesson, we are going to understand from the passage we will read, we'll come up with a lot of sentences which will highlight the usage of this word and the different patterns. Are you ready? Let's move on into this lesson at Darus al-Thalis wal-Ishrun, which is still from Abu Durus al-Lughat al-Arabiyyah لغير ناطقين بها We are on book 3, and if you have the PDF file, you can move down to page 546, and from there you find Ad-Darsu Thalis wal Ishrun. Hamidun began the conversation. He says, Ya Ustad, O teacher, Inna ladayya iqtirahan. Indeed, I have a suggestion. Can you say, I have a suggestion? So, iqtirah means suggestion. The verb will be iqtaraha. He suggested. Yaqtarihu, he's suggesting. So, iqtirah means what? Suggestion. Al-Mudarris says, Intadir, wait. Can you see? Intadir from the word nadhara. Intadir, wait. Hatta attali'a ala hadha ta'mim. Until I look at, or until I read, until I peruse through this handbill or this flyer. At-ta'mim means flyer. So look at the word intadir and the word attali'u. Attali'u. Can see it is from the same pattern, at-tali'u. But because the ta is the first letter, tala'a, that is why the ta is changed to ta. So we have at-tali'u. So he says, hatta at-tali'a ala hadha ta'mim, until I peruse through, until I glance through this handbill, this flyer. Ba'da qalilin, after a short while, Naam, he said, yes. Maqtirahuk, what is your suggestion? Maqtirahuk, what is suggestion? Hamidun says, Inna faslana hadha, indeed this our class, asbaha muktadhan jiddan, has become so crowded. Do you understand? It has become so crowded and filled up with students. Ma ra'yuka an nantaqila ila al-fasl al-wasi', what is your opinion that we move on to the next, or to the wide class, alladhi fi tabaq ath-thani, which is in the next which is in the second floor. فَإِنَّهُ خَالٍ الْآنِ, because it is empty now. Al-Mudarris says, Inna hadha ra'yun sadid, indeed this is sound opinion. Sa'ukallimul mudira fihi, I shall talk to the principal on that. Iqra'i darsa ya Mustafa, oh Mustafa, read the lesson. Mustafa said, Ba'da al-isti'adha wal basmala, after reciting the a'udhu and bismillah, he says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe. Ijtanibu kathiran min adh-dhann. This is a verse from the Quran. Allah says, O you who believe, Ijtanibu kathiran min adh-dhanni, avoid much of suspicion, avoid much of negative suspicion. Inna ba'da adh-dhanni ithmi, indeed some of the suspicions are sins. Some of the suspicion is sin. Wala tajassasu, do not spy one another. Wala yaghtab ba'dukum ba'da, and do not backbite one another. Ayuhibbu ahadukum an ya'kula lahma akhihi maytan fakarihtumuh, do any one of you, or does any one of you wants to eat the flesh of his brother while he's dead? Indeed, you detest it. Wattaqullah, and fear Allah. Inna Allah tawwabun rahim. Indeed, Allah is acceptor of repentance and He is merciful. So from this verse, you can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has warned us against three things. The first one is for us to avoid much of suspicion. Don't suspect one another without any clear evidence. And He is saying we should not spy on one another and do not backbite. From this verse, you have seen the word, the first one, ijtanibu. Can see, ijtanaba, ijtanibu, ijtanaba, he avoided. Ijtanibu, avoid. This is a command tense. So under the pattern of what? Iftala. Then he says, well, he says what? Wala yagtab, yagtab from the word igtaba. Also under this pattern, we ask a lot of girls understanding. Al-Mudarris says, Naktafi bihadha darsi, we will hold on to this lesson. We are going to stop by this lesson, meaning we are okay with this lesson. So from the word iktifa, iktafa, yaktafi, naktafi, also having the hamza and the ta added to it, kafa. So kafa, yakfi, iktafa, yaktafi. Raji'u durusa sabiqata wajtahidu, revise the previous lessons and strive. فَقَدْ اقْتَرَبَ الْإِمْتِحَانِ. The examination has indeed come close. So you can see the word ijtahidu and the word iqtaraba. All of them are coming in the same pattern. Mukhtarun says, even the name Mukhtar is also in that pattern. Ikhtara, he chose. Mukhtarun, the choosing one. So, kunna nadhunnuhu ba'idan. We thought that the examination was far. فَإِذَا هُوَ قَرِيب. Then suddenly, it becomes near. Hamidun said, Mata tantahi dirasatu ya ustaz. When will the lesson finish, O teacher? So tantahi from the word intaha, yantahi, also another pattern. Al-Mudawwir says, Adhunnuha tantahi fi muntasafi hadha ash-shahr. I think it will finish by the middle of this month. Mukhtarun says, Alana mumtahinuna min kharijil mahad. Look at the word muntasaf. From intasafa, yantasifu. Intasafa to come midway or halfway. Then muntasaf, midway. So he says, Alana mumtahinuna min kharijil mahad. Do we have examiners from outside the institute? Do you have external examiners? So mumtahinun means an examiner. Mumtahinun, examiners. So from the word imtahana, yamtahinu, mumtahinu. Al-Mudawwir says, Na'am, sayashtariku fil ikhtibari shafawi mumtahinuna min kharij al-mahad. In the oral examination, external examiners will participate in the oral examination of the institute. So you can see ishtaraka, yashtariku. Can you see ishtaraka, to participate? From the word sharaka, ishtaraka, hamza and ta has been added. So yashtariku. The word ikhtibar, which means test or examination, also is got from the same word ikhtabar, with ta being added. William says, Ayahiku an li an adkhula fil imtihan. Is it right for me to participate in the examination, to enter into the examination? فَقَدْ الْتَحَقْتُ مُتَأَخِّرًا. I have indeed joined the school lately. So you can see the word iltahaqa, to meet up, to join. Iltahaqtu bil jami'a, I joined the university. See, iltahaqa, lahiqa, iltahaqa. Al-Mudawwir says, Naam, yes. Man iltahaqa qabla al-imtihani bi shahrayn. Whoever joined 2 months before the examination, falahu haqqu duhul. He has the right to enter into the examination for imtihan. So can you see iltahaqa? Hamidun said, Ya Ustaz, oh teacher, sa'agibu gadan, I will be absent tomorrow. Wa ba'da gadin, and the day after tomorrow. Fa innani musafirun, because indeed I'm traveling ila Jeddah, to Jeddah. Fa arju samah, so I seek for your pardon, for pardon. Al-Mudawwir says, Ala budda min hadha safar. Must you go on this journey? Is this journey a must? Hamidun says, Na'am, yes. Wallahi, inni lamutarrun ila dhalik. Indeed, I am compelled to that. Al-Mudawwir says, La ba'as, no problem. Ba'da idhnil mudu. So you can see the word mutarrun, I'm compelled. From the word itarra, yatarru. So he said, I'm compelled. The teacher said, La ba'as, ba'da idhnil mudir. No problem after the permission of the principal. وَإِذَا مَرَرْتَ بِمَكْتَبَةٍ هُنَاكَ. And if you pass by in any library over there, فَاشْتَرِ لِي نُسْخَتَيْن. Buy 2 copies for me. So ishtara, yashtari, from the word shara, ishtara. You can see Hamza and Ta'un have been added. Min lisan al-Arab. Buy 2 copies of the dictionary of lisan al-Arab. Min al-maktabati allati, from the library, which is ala muftaraki turuki, which is on the muftarak. Muftarak means junction or crossroad. Ala muftaraki turuki fi hayy al-maktabat, which is at the crossroads of the libraries, or the library streets or avenue or districts. So you can see the word muftarak, from the word iftaraka, to what, to separate. Muftarak, where the roads separated, junction, crossroads. So with this we come to the end of this lesson. We ask a lot of grant us understanding. Here we have a short exercise to answer following the passage. The first one says, here we have Ajib anil as'ilatil atiya. Answer the following questions. Number 1 says, Maktirahu Hamidin. What is Hamid's suggestion? We say, Iktirahihu أن ينتقلوا إلى الفصل الواسع الذي في الطابق الثاني. Now, he says the Hami's opinion or suggestion is that they should move to the wide class which is in the second floor. Now, do you know why? We are not asked for the reason, but this was his suggestion. Now, we have number 2. نهى الله تعالى في الآية الكريمة الواردة في الدرس عن ثلاثة أمور. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited 3 things from the verse which we read above. Ma hiya, what is that? What are they? We say awwaluha, the first of it is adhan, which is suspicion. Wathani, and the second is what? MashaAllah, that is at-tajassus, spying. Wal akhira, and the last one is al-ghiba, which is backbiting. Number 3, we have bimada shabbaha Allah ta'ala al-ghiba. With what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likened al-ghiba, which is backbiting? We say shabbahahu Allah bimada shabbahahu Allah bi akli lahmil mayt or akli lahmil akh, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likened it to eating the brother's meat, al-akhil mate. Now, so here again we have number 2. We have here min abwabil fi'li thulathi, among the patterns of a triliteral verb, al-mazid, which has an addition. Babu ifta'ala is the pattern of ifta'ala. Zidat fi hamzatun, a hamza has been added qabla al-fa, before the fa, wa ta ba'daha, and ta has been added after the fa. Nahu, an example is the word irtafa'a, to rise. Irtafa'a, to rise. We can say irtafa'at al-harara, the temperature has risen, which means the hotness has risen. Ishtara, to buy. Intadhara, he waited. Can you see? Taw and hamza has been added at the beginning and ta'un after the first letter. Here we have istakhrij min ad-dars. You have to go back to the passage or to the conversation we had and bring out min bab iftala al-af'al al-wadam bab. Bring out all the verbs which appear in the pattern of iftala. We have them many. You can go back and extract them. Here we have ta'ammal al-mithal, study the example. Thumma hati al-mudari'a, afterwards bring all the present tense verbs, wal amr, the command tense, wasmul fa'il, the subject noun, wal masdar, the verbal noun, min al-af'al al-atiya, from the following verbs. And the example we have is for the ma'adi, past tense, we have intadhara, for the mudari, yantadhiru, for the amr, intadhir. Ismul fa'il, which is the subject noun, the form of the action, we have muntadhir, the waiter. Then the masdar is what? Intidharun, waiting. We have ishtaraka, yashtariku, ishtarik, mushtarikun, ishtirakun. We have imtahana, yamtahinu, mumtahinun, imtihanun. Have ijtama'a, he gathered. Yajtami'u is gathering. Mujtami'un, gatherer. Then we have ijtami', gather. Then we have ijtima'un, gathering or meeting. Iltaqa, yaltaki, iltaqa. Then we have what? Multakin and iltiqa'un. We have ikhtara, yakhtaru, ikhtar. Then we have mukhtarun and we have what? Ikhtiyarun. MashaAllah. Ta'ammal al-mithal, study the following example. Thumma unqul al-af'al lati ila bab ifta'ala. Then the following verbs, you are known to move them to the pattern of ifta'ala. The first example we have is zahama. You can see when it came, it become izdahama. This is because إذا كانت فاء افتعل دالا, if the fa of this verb, which is in 3 letters, if the fa letter, the beginning of the beginning letter, the letter that begins it is dalun or zalun or zayun, any of these 3 letters that appears at the beginning of a triliteral verb, by the time you want to change this triliteral verb into the pattern of ifta'ala, such you will change it to what? To dal. That's why we have the word zahama. It would have been izdahama, but it was changed to what? Izdahama, because it begins with what? With zain. The same thing with zana. It would have been Tana. But now it's what? It is what? It will be what? Izdana. MashaAllah. We have Zakara, it will be Izdakaro. We have Da'a, it will be Idda'a. MashaAllah. Number 5, we have Ta'ammal al-Mithal. Study the following example. ثم انقل الأفعال الآتية إلى باب افتعل. Then you have to transform the following verbs into the pattern of ifta'ala after making necessary changes. We have the verb sobara. When it was done, it becomes a stobara. So I've told you before that any word which begins with so, do, to, tho, when you want to change to its pattern, the ta'un will be changed to what? To MashaAllah, to be changed to to. So we have sofa, it will be a stofa. Doroba, it will be toroba. Zolama, it will be talaba. Then tola will be tola. We have number 6, ta'ammal al-mistal. So in the following example, thumma qul al-af'al allati la bifta'ala. Then change the following verbs into the pattern of ifta'ala. We have the word waqa. So any verb which begins with wa, in this pattern it will be, the wa will be changed to ta. That's why we have ittaqa. Wasola, it will be ittasola. Wahada, it will be ittahada. Then wafiqa will be ittafiqa. MashaAllah. We have here uzkur asla kulli mimma yati thumma bayyin baba. We are to mention the origin of the following verbs which are now in the pattern of ifta'ala, and also explain the pattern. Example, we have intadhara. Aslu, the origin is what? From the word nadhara. Min babi ifta'ala, from the pattern of ifta'ala. Zidat fihi hamza wa ta. Hamza and ta have been added to it. The same thing, we have the word inkasaro. So it's from the word kasaro. Origin of it is kasaro. Zidat min babi infa'ala. Zidat fihi hamzatun wa nun. We also have the word infataha. The origin is what? Fataha. Zidat fihi hamza wa nun. We have the next intaqala. Origin is what? Naqala. Zidat fihi hamzatun wa ta. The next is intashara, from the word nashara. Zidat fihi hamzatun wa ta. The next is what? Inqata'a. Min babi infa'ala. Zidat fihi hamza wa nun. Wal akhira intasara. Min babi nasara. Zidat fihi intasara. MashaAllah. Number 8, we have min ma'ani babi ifta'ala al-mutawa'a. Among the meanings of this pattern of ifta'ala is what? Obedience. Mutawa'a. Example is rafa'tu sawta. I raised the voice. Faratafa'a, and it raised. You can see irtafa'a, it obeyed the raising. Ta'ammal al-mithal thumma akmil al-naqis. Study for example, then complete the incomplete. We have rafa'tu sawta and we have irtafa'a sawtu. Mala'tu al-qub, I filled the cup. Imtala al-qub, the cup is filled. Jama'tu tullaba, I gathered the students. Ijtama'a tullabu, the students gathered. Now we have ta'ammal al-mithal al-ati al-bab ifta'ala. Study the following example for the pattern of ifta'ala. Wa ayyin fiha al-madi, and indicate the past tense. Wal mudari, and the present tense. Wal amr, and also the command tense. Wal mushtaqat al-mukhtalifa, and the other derivatives. Number 1, we have it translated in the Quran, and it says yawma naqulu li jahannama hal imtala'ti wa taqulu hal min mazid. On the day of judgment, the day when we will say to the hellfire, halim talati, are you filled up? And it will say, hal min mazid, is there any addition? May Allah protect us on that day. So the word imtala'a, we can see it here, imtala'at, which is what? Fi'l madi, past tense verb. Number 2, Allah says, Allah the Most High says, wa'mur ahlaka bis salati wastabir alayha. Command your family, your household with prayer, and remain patient over that. So the word is tabir is coming in the pattern of ifta'il as fi'l and command tense. Number 3, we have astami'u ila tilawati al-Qur'an al-Karim min al-idhati kulla sabahin. I listen to the recitation of the Quran from the radio station every morning. So you see, astami'u, this is a fi'l madi, a fi'l mudari present tense. Number 4, we have yaqulu al-mudhi'u. The announcer says, ayyuhal mustami'una, O you listeners, al-kiram, O you honorable listeners, ilaykum nashrat al-akhbar. Here is the news in full. So you can see Nashra here is the news bulletin. So Nashrat al-Akhbar, you can see the word mustami'una. This is ismul fa'il, subject noun. Number 5, we have da'awtullah fil multazam yawma yatamartu. I called unto Allah in Multazam the day I performed Umrah. And Multazam is a place where one is attached to somehow. It's attached to a place that you hold on to. So al-multazam, this is what ismul maf'ul, is object noun, or ismul makan, name of a place. Ibtasim, smile. La takun abisan, do not be someone who frowns. So ibtasim, this is a command tense, which means a fi'l amr. Number 7, we have ittasaltu bi abi hatifiyan. I called my father over the phone. Wa akhbartuhu bi maw'idi safari, and I informed him of my travel appointment. So we have ittasaltu from the word ittasala. This is a fi'l madi. قال تعالى, that says, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever fears Allah, He will make a way out for him. وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ, and He will provide for him from where he never expected. So يَتَّقِ, can you see this فعل مضارع? And يَحْتَسِب is also فعل مضارع. Number 9, we have يَتَّجِهُ الْمُسْلِمُونَ فِي صَلَوَاتِهِمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَةِ الْمُشَرَّفَةِ. The Muslims face the Kaaba of Musharrafa in their prayer. So yattajihu is fi'l mudari also. Number 10, Allah said, وَمَنِ ادَّعَى مَا لَيْسَ لَهُ فَلَيْسَ مِنَّا. Whoever claims what is not in him is not amongst us. Rawahu Muslim. So the word idda'a originally was what? Idta'a. But because of the ta, the ta was changed to dal. So this is what? Fi'l madi. Number 11, we have قال تعالى في سورة الفرقان. Let's say Surah Al-Furqan. وَيَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. And on the day when the oppressor will bite over his fingers, will bite his two hands. يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي, and he will say, woe unto me. اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا. How I wish I had held on to, I had took the messenger as a way. So the word ittakhadtu is a fi'l madi. Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila. Woe unto me, I wish I never took this person as a friend, as an intimate friend. So attakhidh means what is a fi'l mudari. So you can see the word ittakhadha, ifta'ala min akhadha is from the word akhadha. Asluhu, the origin is what? Ittakhadha. Udgimatil hamza fi ta. So the hamza was made to enter into the ta, and the ta was pushed, shadda was put on the ta. Another thing we'll learn lastly is that when you want to ask questions with the hamza to istifham, the hamza of interrogation in this pattern, the first hamza will be thrown. So it will be, you will not say ifta'ala, did you do, or iftaraqa, did you separate, ijtama'a at-tullab, the student gathered. Rather you simply say ijtama'a at-tullab, did the students gathered. Qala ta'ala, that says astafa al-banati ala al-banin, did he choose daughters over sons? Can you see? So astafa, ordinarily it is what? Istafa, but astafa is the correct thing. We ask Allah to grant us understanding. When next we meet, we are going to discuss a very important Arabic grammar rule. Stay tuned on it then. Make sure you like, share with your friends, and drop comments in the comment section. Until we meet, jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum.